environmental policy, which was the state of California should enforce more regulations on licensed gun dealer businesses to decrease corruption, and this will be done through increased inventory checks, more thorough background checks on firearm business employees, and ammunition record keeping. The negative side will probably bring this up, but California does have like the strongest gun laws, but it's more directed towards gun owners. And in a study conducted by Daniel Webster and John Vernick in the U.S. National Library of Medicine, 1% of licensed dealers were responsible for almost 60% of guns traced to crime. In addition, Julius Waxel, a former special agent in charge for the Long Beach ATF, who is also an expert in illegal gun trafficking, said the following, that many guns recovered by police come directly from a store, and in a recently published study that he authored, which tracked gun recoveries for several years, reported that 14% of guns seized by the LAPD were confiscated from their original retail buyer. And then a lot of people also have like the misconception that like guns are guns in the like gun trafficking area are from like private sales, illegal private sales. But in actuality, they're according to the Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, like Quinn actually said, 50% of these illegal guns trafficked originated from straw purchases, while only 14.2% came from unregulated private sales. And so Quinn actually described what a straw purchase is, but oftentimes the two people actually walk into the store together, and very bluntly, the person who's prohibited from buying the gun like points out which gun he or she wants to get, and the person that can pass the background check is able to get it from him, and like the person selling it to them is like completely aware of what's going on and still goes along with it just to sell the gun and make a profit. And straw purchasers are the primary source of crime guns, which was also said before. But this is why like more inventory checks and background checks on firearm business employees need to be performed. And in terms of inventory checks, they need to be performed by more local authorities instead of just the ATF. So according to Fritz Walker, between 2004 and 2011, the ATF discovered nearly 175,000 firearms missing from dealer inventories during compliance inspections, which Eileen talked about. And in 2013 alone, the ATF discovered 19,601 guns were lost or stolen from gun sellers, but these numbers actually don't account for most of the nation because the ATF is underfunded and is only able to inspect a fraction of the nation's dealer each year. And so, for example, in 2012, the ATF inspected only 19% of gun dealers in the nation, which is why the state of California needs to like implement like or give power to local governments to have their authorities also do annual inventory checks. And California already gives a lot of power to local governments anyways in regards to gun control, so this should be easier to implement than it would be in other states. So in terms of background checks on business employees and firearm dealers, the actual dealers are required to renew their business licenses every year, but like Eileen said, the employees don't actually need a background check or a certificate of eligibility. And in a phone call survey / poll done by Dr. Garen Blaismith in the U.S. National Library of Medicine, he found that when he called retailers up and employees answered, 20% of them actually agreed to assist in a potential handgun buyer transaction that had many attributes to an illegal straw purchase. So this just shows that like more background checks are needed on the employees to ensure credibility for the employees themselves as well as the firearms dealers. And last but not least, ammunition sales in firearm stores should be recorded in California. So California has actually already made a lot of progress on this. In the Assembly Bill 48, that has been enacted last year. It requires ID when purchasing ammunition, but it doesn't actually record any information down and keep it, which is necessary in order for like police forces to track where like the ammunition goes and whatnot in crimes. So there should be a law or amendment passed so that ammunition sales in California would be recorded, and this could be modeled by an assembly bill that was actually ruled unconstitutional for vague terms, but it could be modified so it doesn't have vague terms, but it would like require a thumbprint, and the delivery or transfer of ammunition could be a face-to-face transaction. And yes.